Poverty in Cincinnati, this is an unbelievable stat. It is the second worst in the nation, second only to Detroit. More than half of the kids in our city live in poverty.
Mayor John Cranley touched on the problem in his State of the City address earlier this week.
Our goals include lifting 10,000 children out of poverty within 5 years. In addition, we will help 5,000 unemployed or underemployed adults get into jobs with living wages. We all have to do our parts as citizens to close unacceptable disparities of health and income in our city. And I'm asking all of you to find a way to contribute to this effort.
Mayor John Cranley is our guest this morning on Good Morning Cincinnati. Mayor, welcome. So good to see you here.
Good to be here.
So why do you think we're one of the worst?
Well, I think it may be a result of the fact that most cities in the Midwest and around the country annexed suburbs all the way up till the 50s and 60s. And we stopped doing that in 1925. And so we have a small geographic city, and the poverty is concentrated in the city. I think the statistic sounds worse. However, it doesn't matter because we have too many kids in poverty, and we need to do something about it.
With all of the positive stories we have to tell about our city right now, with redevelopment and those kinds of things, were you as shocked by that stat when you saw it as I think most of us were? We were just talking about it this morning. It sort of takes you back a little bit.
Well, it's a moral crisis for us. I mean, our renaissance can only be complete if we lift everybody up in our city, not just a few. And so it's a real opportunity for us. And I think that there is a broad-based coalition that's coming together to tackle this issue. The city cannot solve this issue on its own. It doesn't have the resources to solve it on its own. United Way is going to be a partner. The Urban League is going to be a partner. The Cincinnati Business Committee and Regional Business Committee are going to be partners. Children's Hospital is going to be a partner. So we have a broad-based coalition that's going to try to look at this.
And you were actually able to channel some federal funding to them earlier this year. But you mentioned in your speech 10,000 children you'd like to lift out of poverty within 5 years. Where does that number come from? How'd you come up with that?
Well, that's about, that represents about 35% of the children living in poverty today in the city alone. It's a bigger number if you count the whole region. It would essentially be about a 35% reduction in poverty in the city, which is, a huge shift. Obviously, we won't be happy until all kids are out of poverty. But making a 35% reduction would be probably one of the most significant reductions in poverty anywhere in the country.
Now, you gave your task force, I believe, 9 months to sort of come up with a plan. What do you hope to see at the end of that 9 months, and why 9 months to put everything together?
Well, we wanted to create a sense of urgency. We don't want task force to just study and study and study. We want actionable results. We have some specific ideas. We are going to be looking and working with the federal government to get more waivers for federal dollars in our local community so that we can have a local solution. We know that the big barriers to jobs which are predominantly single mothers who are in poverty with kids is transportation, childcare, and sometimes short-term job training skills. If those three things can be dealt with, we can put more mothers back into work who are looking for work. In addition, there are a lot of men who have records who have trouble transitioning back into the workforce as well. So those four issues are the key drivers to getting people back into jobs. And the research shows that if a kid lives with at least one parent with a job, the cultural values of the dignity of work and the work ethic are transferred generationally, and they can break the cycle of poverty.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, Mayor.
Oh, okay.
But thank you so much for coming in to talk with us. And beginning on Monday, Local 12 will launch an investigation series called Childhood Poverty, Cincinnati's Crisis, and that starts at 6 on Monday on Local 12 News.
And again, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.